In section 35 of Counsels and Maxims, Schopenhauer discusses trust. It's very short. I'll take it in two parts. Here's the first. Our trust in other people often consists, in great measure, of pure laziness, selfishness, and vanity on our own part. I say laziness because instead of making inquiries ourselves and exercising an active care, we prefer to trust others. Selfishness, because we are led to confide in people by the pressure of our own affairs. And vanity, when we ask confidence for a matter on which we rather pride ourselves. And yet, for all that, we expect people to be true to the trust we repose in them. So, first part of this section about our trusting other people. Generally, he says, for base motives. Quite often, we are motivated by laziness. We'd rather not do the work ourselves. We'd prefer to ask somebody else and just take their word for it. Or selfishness. Our own affairs are quite busy and pressing, and so we need the help of other people. Rather than relying upon ourselves, we will reach out and ask them for help and trust them. Or vanity, when we confide in them, we tell a secret we want them to keep, but it's a secret that we are ourselves secretly rather proud for them to know, right? Isn't it great that you know this unknown thing about me? So, a rather cynical take on trust as a social institution from Schopenhauer here, that we quite often engage in it from base motives. And yet, for all that, we take a sort of noble attitude towards it. We expect people to be worthy of our trust somehow, even though we're trusting them for these low and selfish motives. Second part. But we ought not to become angry if people put no trust in us, because that really means that they pay honesty the sincere compliment of regarding it as a very rare thing. So rare indeed as to leave us in doubt whether its existence is not merely fabulous. That's the end of the section. So when people fail to trust us, Schopenhauer suggests we ought not to be offended. Rather, we recognize that perhaps they lack the base motives that move us to trust other people sometimes, or that they simply have the accurate view that honesty is quite a rare thing in this world. If they don't trust us, it's because it's generally a bad idea to trust anybody. Good for them, we might think. And it seems again that honesty and a person worthy of trust is another one of these fantastic beasts of the social world, rather like a mermaid or a unicorn, something like what Schopenhauer said about the true and sincere friend a few sections previously. We might whisper about it, talk about it ourselves, but then we sort of speculate, is there really such a thing out there, or do we just talk like this sometimes about human institutions and human practices? So that is section 35 of Schopenhauer's Counsels and Maxims about trust. We'll look at section 36 about politeness in the next video. Thanks for watching today. Goodbye.